Hi, I'm Eric with Simply Elegant Home Cooking. Today I'm going to show you a really great dish. This is an easy one-pot meal. We're going to be doing crispy chicken thighs with summer vegetables, zucchini, squash, cherry, tomatoes. This is a really easy dish. You can throw it together on a weeknight, really any night, but it's super elegant. Stick around. You're going to love this one. So to start out, I've prepped the chicken thighs. Now it's very important to take the thighs out of the refrigerator an hour before you're going to cook them to allow them to come up to temperature. I've blotted them as dry as I can get them, which is really important as well, so we get a good sear. And I've seasoned both the top and the bottom liberally with salt and pepper. Okay, and once you get your chicken prepped, the next step is to preheat your pan. So I have this pan going on medium-high heat. You want to make sure that it gets really hot before you add the chicken. Right before we add the chicken, I'm going to add just a small amount of extra virgin olive oil. I'm going to swirl that around a bit to coat. And you don't need much because the chicken has a lot of fat in it. And we're just going to lay that down skin side down. And we're going to sear the skin for about 8 minutes, and then we're going to flip the chicken and sear the underside as well. So we're about 5 minutes in, and the chicken thighs are searing away. One thing I want to really emphasize is that it's very important not to move these around as they sear. You want to let them go at least about 7 minutes before you check them. It's usually in that 7 to 8 minute mark is the perfect amount of time to get the skin nice and crispy. Okay, and the chicken thighs have been going for exactly 8 minutes, so I'm going to give them a flip. And that's how you want them to look, nice and crispy on the exterior. Actually, that one needs a little more time, so I'm going to leave that down. That one looks good to go. This one I'm going to give just another minute or two. So we'll check back in just about a minute. Okay, and that should be enough time. So I'm going to give this one a flip. Now these are all nicely browned on the skin. Okay, so these chicken thighs have been searing on the other side now for between about 2 to 4 minutes per piece. I'm going to turn the heat off, and I have an oven that I've preheated to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm going to take this whole pan and pop it in that 400-degree oven, and we're going to let them cook in the oven for about 20 minutes. Okay, and while the chicken cooks in the oven, it's a perfect time to prep the rest of the ingredients, the summer vegetables. So I have about 6 ounces of cherry tomatoes that I've cut in half. I have a zucchini and a summer squash, a yellow squash I've cut into small pieces. I have a large handful of fresh basil, a lemon wedge, and 2 cloves of garlic that I've crushed up in a garlic press. Okay, and that is how our chicken thighs look after 20 minutes in the oven. So I am going to remove these thighs and put them on a plate. Okay, and there was a lot of oil, so I poured out about half of it. And I have the skillet now over medium-high heat, and I'm going to add in the squash and the zucchini carefully so as not to make a mess. And I'm also going to season them. I'm going to use some cracked black pepper. I will also add some sea salt. And finally, I'm going to add some herbes de Provence. This adds a really nice flavor. So you just want to get your seasonings in there and then mix everything to coat to combine well. And we'll check back in a few minutes. Okay, and after about 8 to 10 minutes, we can add the next ingredient, which is the garlic, 2 cloves of garlic. So you want to get that in there and stir it around. We're only going to let it go for about 30 seconds. And then after 30 seconds of sauteing the garlic, we can add in our cherry tomatoes. So once you get all those tomatoes in there, just give it a big stir to incorporate. And we just need to let it go about 2 minutes or so, or until the tomatoes soften, and we will be ready to serve this up. It is going to be good. And just give this a stir or two throughout the process while we wait on the tomatoes, just to get them all cooked evenly. You can see how pretty that looks with all the colors. Okay, so this is ready to go. I'm going to turn it off the heat and stir in the last remaining ingredients, just a squeeze of fresh lemon juice and that big handful of basil. So I'm going to get that in there and stir it around, and in just a moment we will be plating this up. Okay, and here's the finished dish plated up. Crispy chicken thighs with summer vegetables, zucchini, squash, and cherry tomatoes. You saw how easy this dish was to put together. You can throw this together on a weekday night and it's super simple, but it's absolutely delicious. I really hope you enjoyed this recipe. If you like this, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Check back for future videos. I'm Eric with Simply Elegant Home Cooking, and I'll see you again really soon.